Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred masculines and anybody else who finds their way to this channel. Welcome to your Sacred Sexuality Oracle and Tarot card reading for the week. I am so grateful for your presence. Thank you for being here as we dive into sacred sexuality. What is it? How do we step into it? Why would we even want to? What does that mean? This channel is all about kind of picking apart and exploring a lot of the unhealthy belief systems that we've taken on around our sexuality and around in being in union with another and with ourselves, connecting with our own sexual and sensual energy, and how do we express that in the world? How do we tap into our passions, to our creativity, to inspiration, to our vital, gorgeous, beautiful life force energy, to our beautiful, amazing bodies, What is our connection with all of that? Is it healthy and from a love-based place and the place of celebration and honoring our gorgeous energies? Or is it from shame and fear and guilt and just like, ooh, trying to hide it all? So that's what we're doing here is we pick apart and open into a really healthy expression of our sexual and sensual energies. So thank you for being here. Each week in our tarot reading, we explore a topic and then we go to the cards to see what is up, how they can support us, and what wisdom is looking to come through to support us on our journey into sacred sexuality. This week is a powerful week of astrology and astrological energies in our whole experience, in the collective, and with us personally. So we just came out of eclipse season, like that's powerful enough as it is. Then you add in Mercury retrograde, which is always some interesting energy to navigate. And then the most powerful conjunction astrological experience of the year, the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, which is really opening up and busting through some stuff and really, maybe in a shocking, quick way liberating us from a lot of those unhealthy belief systems that we're talking about right now. And now we're moving into a Scorpio full moon, which is really powerful energies of transformation as well, and illumination, and really helping us to see what is not supporting us in our highest good. So powerful time to be connecting with the cards today and seeing what they have to share with us. That in itself is enough to work with, but I will, the topic that's coming up for me today is receptivity. During my meditation today, it was really just kind of, I pull a card for myself daily, and the one that came through today was the Hanged Man, and looking at a new perspective. And what that opened up for me today in my practice was, allowing and receiving, which is something that I have been working with for many years, as I recognize that the masculine energy is a lot of the do and achieve and goal oriented and putting the energy out there and going for it, doing it. Whereas the feminine energy is more receptive and allowing and open and flowing and not so action oriented in that same way. So our society is very supportive of the do of that masculine energy. It's hyper masculine, so we've kind of lost touch with how to receive, how to just sit back and wait and be in the flow and allow and surrender to whatever is happening. We're really kind of forceful and like, we're going to make this happen, and that's celebrated in our society. We've been taught to do that. The early bird gets the worm. If you want to make it happen, you got to do it yourself, and just go. So learning how to sit back and surrender and stop that process, stop the doing, to just allow and see what unfolds naturally and what transpires, where that's new for us, and it can be really challenging. So that's something I've been actively practicing with and working with. And let me tell you, it can be a challenge, when I want to, I have my visions, I know where I'm trying to go, I know what I want to do, I think I know how to make it happen. I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. And it's just like, and then the universe just comes in and is like, stop. You need to calm down. You need to stop and wait and allow and see what transpires. You need to allow for divine timing. Some of this isn't meant to happen right now, and you just need to hold up. So I've really been learning about that. And the this takes me back to my own when I was with a teacher, and I remember her saying the feminine body, the female body, and the male body are both gross, and I don't mean gross like gross, but like tangible forms of the masculine energy and the feminine energy. The masculine is a penetrative, action-oriented energy, right? And so the masculine has the penis, the phallus, the cock, the energy goes out, right? The woman is a receptive vessel, that her energy, the female energy, the feminine energy is receptive. So that's how the female body is. The female body receives the masculine energy that's going forward, and she receives. We are expressions, we are solid expressions of those two energies in our universe, the outgoing and the receiving, so really looking to my own energy, to where I've been too masculine and where I need to allow and receive that energy that's coming in. So this is a practice that we can all do for ourselves, and finding, authentic tantra is really all about, and sacred sexuality, that harmony and that balance of that union, first and foremost within and then without. We need to find a healthier balance of the feminine and masculine energies within ourselves. So if we are, and in general, our society, regardless if we are showing up in a male or a female body or whatever, I know I'm not getting into gender and all of the different, experiences that people are having with gender right now, as we explore that experience of our reality. That's all gorgeous and beautiful. But in general, and how we have understood our universe, it's a duality. There's a polarity, and on one side is the masculine energy, and over here is the feminine energy. So it's just two kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, and then everything kind of works together with these two energies. But if we're on too much of one side, we're just very imbalanced, because the universe is made up of the two energies, and this is the Shiva and the Shakti energies, the masculine and feminine principles, that you learn more about as you start diving into Tantra, and you start understanding how the universe works in this way, in this polarity, in this duality that we are experiencing. Ultimately, everything is one, but it splits off into the two, and we call those masculine and feminine. We could call them anything else, but it's just how it shows up in our experience, So that's why I'm not diving into gender. Everything falls on a spectrum, right? It's not all this and it's not all that. But in general, if we tend to be this really hyper focused over here and with no balance, it's gonna cause for just an imbalanced experience, and it's going to bring about more struggle, and ultimately. So we are kind of striving for more of a harmony between the two, more of a balance. And of course, it's never going to be just even and even, but for each of us, we find a balance. When I say balance, I'm careful with that word. I don't mean even, equal shares, even masculine, even feminine. A balance could be different for everybody, and that's part of the exploration and part of the journey that we go on. Like, we're learning where we need to allow in some more feminine energies, but that doesn't mean we go too far in that direction, or we discover what is right for us and what feels right, and where we find a more of a, I guess, harmony is maybe a better word. There's a harmony between the two energies that supports us in our growth, in our body, mind, and spirit. So but as I was saying, in this society and in the world in general, which is really a very patriarchal world, many cultures and societies are very masculine now, and that's just where it's gone. But we are understanding what happens when we shut down so much of our feminine. We shut down our emotions, our intuition, our magic, our psychic gifts and abilities, and we're very much in the mind, logic, analytical reasoning and form. We have to have everything proven, and it shuts out a lot of the magic of our experience. We really need to have both of them for a real solid, rounded experience of all of our gorgeous energies, and the same, if you're over here too much and like intuition, too much feeling, without any grounding, without any kind of logic or reason around it, that's not a pleasant place to be either. So that's why what I say when we're trying to find a balance of what works for us and bringing the two together in a more harmonious, flowing way for ourselves. So, so the journey for a lot of us is to temper the masculine a little bit, recognize where it is just, kind of running rampant in our lives. And how can we bring in some more of this feminine? How can we let the masculine sit back a little bit and the feminine kind of come in and receive and flow and intuit and feel and, just move through our lives. So really important in sacred sexuality and the tantric path is that of the harmony and the union and the balance of the feminine and the masculine within. And then that's why a lot of people think of Tantra as these sexual acts, very hypersexualized, but it's really the union within. And at some point you do practice outside with a partner, bringing those two energies of the masculine and the feminine together, because it's a very powerful energy, and it is our life force energy, and they're the spiritual growth and potential of that energy to awaken us and illuminate us is very strong. It's very, very, very powerful energies. But we always do the work internally first and foremost. And that doesn't mean I'm saying we don't have sex, we don't interact, we don't engage with a partner until we're enlightened. No, absolutely not. But Tantra has been kind of hijacked in a way where people think it's a longer orgasm. Oh, it's just more, but it's not that. It's not that. That is not what Tantra is. So that's a whole nother discussion, but I just want to be clear that that's what I'm saying about the union and the harmony of the feminine and the masculine within first and foremost. And then we're going to have that kind of more really liberated, expansive union and experience with a partner, that really requires the inner work first to get there. I mean, yes, we can have amazing orgasms. Yes, we can have bigger orgasms. I'm all about it, right? Yeah, what the hell? Why not? Absolutely. But ultimately what we're talking about here and what I'm talking about here on this channel is coming into a greater balance within ourselves so that we can bring it out into the world and we can bring that into our relationships and really have those beautiful, nourishing, passionate, sexy, fulfilling, sustainable relationships that we are ultimately looking for. So just wanted to clarify that. But receptivity, where do you need to allow more receptivity into your life? Where do you need to let your masculine sit back a little bit and allow for some more flow? And as that relates to sacred sexuality, when I was thinking of and contemplating this earlier, like in our self-pleasuring, we can be very goal-oriented and very focused on that orgasm, right? How we know just how to get there. We know what turns us on. We know what feels good, and we know how to just get to that point and just, do. It's that action. It's that release. It's that masculine energy. But how can we bring in more of the feminine and just allow the energy to move through us more, allow our bodies to feel into that pleasure, allow the energy to move through in a whole different way without being so hyper focused on a goal or an outcome? How can we allow the feminine in more, and intuition? How can we feel into our bodies and like where do we want to move? Where does the energy want to go? That's not so hyper focused on this one place, usually the genitals, right? How do we allow that to expand and move through and really tap into a whole new experience of our sexual and sensual energies? That's really so very important in sacred sexuality, and that's part of the bringing in the feminine and the masculine and really allowing them to work together, to flow together. So, and then how does that expand out into our world, out into our daily lives? How can we allow more of the universe in to support us in our process without feeling like we have to force and do everything ourselves and make it happen, right? So the sexuality tends to be the way we do our sexual experience and sexual energies tends to be a reflection of how we do a lot of our lives. So is it very forceful? Is it really quick and just like bam, 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 over with and done? Very goal oriented, and that's how we live our lives, right? Or is it more flowing and allowing? Do we have a healthy balance? Are we experiencing all the things? Are we experiencing all the aspects of our sexuality, of our sexual energy as it flows through? Are we open up to having sexual experiences without that outcome? You know, is that satisfying and fulfilling to us? And that flows out into our life, where we can look at, again, is it hyper focused? If we don't reach that goal, then everything's a waste, you know? Or can we enjoy the journey and enjoy the process and enjoy the flow and allow that in? And how do we bring that balance? Like, yes, we have goals and we move forward, but we're not so hyper attached to them, you know? Everyone loves that orgasm, right? It's great, but are we super attached to it, or can we enjoy the whole experience and enjoy whatever unfolds without the attachment to that? So that's kind of the allowing and the receiving and the how it all works together, and we can really look at that within ourselves, and we can see when we look at, like, yeah, how do we approach our sexuality and self-pleasuring or our time with a partner? And then how does that show up in the rest of our lives, you know? Tends to be how we do one thing is how we do another thing, you know? So that's where we can really see, and we can utilize sacred sexuality to open up all parts of our lives, you know? It's all harmony, union, balance with everything. It's body, mind, and spirit. It all works together. It's holistic. We're talking about sexuality here on this channel, but it's really all of our lives, right? It's opening up to a very holistic approach and bringing all of it, body, mind, and spirit, together. You know, our sexual energy is our spiritual energy too. We've been very disconnected from that, but that's a huge piece of what we talk about on this channel as well. You know, bringing the spirituality back into our sexuality and into our bodies, our temples. Oh my God, right? Oh, and bringing our mind on board with all of it too. It's that Holy Trinity, bringing it all together. So let us go to the cards to see what they have to say to support us in our journey of opening to greater receptivity, opening to the feminine, allowing that energy in. How can we allow? How can we relax on the masculine so much, being so hyper focused, and really open up to the feminine within ourselves and in the universe? That's what it was for me, recognizing, like, I don't need to hyper focus on some certain areas in my life that I've been really thinking like I need to achieve, I need to do, I need to stay on task. And then the universe came through, the messages came through today. It's just like, no, you know, yes, stay disciplined in a couple of certain areas, because yeah, that is important. The masculine qualities are important, but it needs to be balanced. It needs to be balanced. So I need to remain disciplined in some areas of some things that I'm focused on and I want to do, and like feels in alignment in my heart. I'm having fun doing these things and they feel great. So yes, stay focused, disciplined, do that. But allow for other things to come in as well. Allow for the universe to blow my mind, you know, allow for the magic and miracles. When we're so locked into what it has to look like, what we think it has to look like, we shut down so much, so many beautiful aspects of our reality that we just miss out. We miss out, you know, we miss out. So let's go to the cards. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Father, Son. Thank you to all of our spirit guides and helpers. Thank you, sacred feminine, sacred masculine energies and entities that we connect with. Thank you to our higher selves. Thank you to this gorgeous, amazing universe that we get to play in. Thank you to these beautiful bodies. Oh my gosh. Thank you, technology, for allowing us to come together and connect in such a way. It's amazing. It's amazing. And thank you to our gorgeous sexual energies as they move through and support us so beautifully to be in our passion and our creativity and our life force, and just like, wow, deep in connection with ourselves and with the other. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Okay, wow, wow, wow. All right. Got too many cards there. Ah! Can only do so many. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm not feeling that one. Oh, lost you there for a second. One more. Okay. That was upside down. I'll leave it there. All right, great. Oh. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. Let us take a moment to feel into these beautiful cards. Wow. Just perfect. I feel like we had this card recently, and so it's kind of perfect. We're starting off here with the moon, which is that sacred feminine energy. The moon and the dogs are in tension. They're barking at the moon. They're stressed out. She's looking down with this like kind of look on her face. And the way I was talking about this recently as it relates to sacred sexuality, this was a card for the day recently, and it was all about where are you not allowing the feminine energy in, and where are you not allowing your own feminine energy to flow through. So this is perfect given this topic that we're talking about. So what this is saying to me is to sit down with those energies, take some time to reflect, look at the energies. What is the feminine energy to you? What is that? And how are you not allowing it? This is time for some reflection here. And how can you open more to that? This is because we're so focused on the masculine, some of us don't even know what the feminine qualities really are and what they are in a healthy way. People can think of like feminine, it's like, oh, it's too emotional. It's like, no, but let's touch on that. Emotions, where in your masculine experience have you shut down your emotions and you're not open to them and not allowing them to move through your daily life and to support you in your process? So we've really been taught to shut down emotions and to shun and shame, and that they're not okay. Being angry and crying is not okay. Anger is more supported for the masculine, but still it's in a very unhealthy way. It's too competitive. It's like the only emotion that is really, it's not the only emotion. I don't want to say that, but it is supported in a way like that's how the masculine can deal with things, or to get to that point where it's just like some blow up, that's not healthy and doesn't feel good for anybody. So yeah, where can you open more? And this is a discussion, right? We've already had this. So I think this is just kind of like, yeah, but what is coming through for me is to just sit and reflect on that. How are you opening to the feminine energies? How are you allowing and receiving? How are you finding any balance within yourself? And do you? And how can you open to that more? I think some real self-reflection is in order here. Yeah, and then this goes into the Six of Pentacles, which is a giving and receiving energy, which is what we're talking about here. We're just talking about the masculine and the feminine being a receptive energy, and the masculine being a giving, like doing energy. So look at, he's got the scales of justice right there. There's a balance. So how can you balance the giving and receiving in your life? How can you open more fully to receiving what is coming through for you, to receiving the bounty and beauty and pleasures and love of the universe? I think there's, really goes down to a safety issue as well, an imbalanced root chakra. We don't feel safe if we're not doing, if we're not taking control, if we aren't the masters of our destiny, right? Like we've been taught, we feel like if we stop doing, if we stop forcing, everything's going to fall apart. We don't trust. That's a feminine quality as well, too. Trusting, allowing, receiving. We are so locked into this way of doing that we're scared that it's all going to fall apart if we stop doing. And I'm not saying to stop doing, but stop doing in some senses, like recognize where you're overdoing and where you can just kind of stop. And it is scary. Trust me, I've been through this. Like, I don't want to stop. What's going to happen? You know, so we need to really kind of trust the universe and allow the universe to give to us and receive what's on offer. Stop and listen and have patience. Have patience with yourself as well, you know, and this is, you know, and we're going back to, this is all under the umbrella of sacred sexuality, right? And we talk about the pentacles being the body. So again, let's return back to that self-pleasuring or being in union with another, the physical aspects of sexuality, and where can we receive more pleasure and allow more of that energy to flow through without the hyper focus and attachment to outcomes. So practice with that. This is an excellent way to open up to allowing more in the external world when you practice with yourself first. You know, that when we change our energy within and with our own selves, the external starts to match that. So when you practice with these principles and with this masculine and feminine and the allowing and the receiving in your sexual experience, in self-pleasuring, practice with that allowing, practice with getting in touch with intuitively, where does your hand want to move? Where does your energy want to flow? How can you allow that? And you practice that first within yourself, and then your external world starts to match that. You start to see where you can allow other things. You can practice with that and get really, and feel comfortable and safe in that, right? Because there's nothing riding on it. We're just exploring our own bodies, our own sexual and sensual energy. There's nothing riding on it. So that's a beautiful way to practice with this. It's an excellent place, an excellent foundation. And then again, have patience with yourself and have patience with your body, because we get really tied into how our sexual energy and expression wants to look, because we get into these habits and these patterns. So as you're exploring with yourself, as you're playing with this energy, as you're allowing the energy to move and yourself to try some new things with yourself, have patience. You know, if you're not feeling anything, or if you're not like, wow, I'm so turned on by this, or oh, this is amazing, that's okay. Just allow it and explore and play. You know, this is an exploration and a play. And whenever we try something new, you know, it might feel weird or strange. You're like, well, that's not really working. But allow yourself, there's that word again. Allow yourself some time to really explore this and play with this. You know, don't expect fireworks the first time. You maybe like change up how you're self-pleasuring, you know, like it's an exploration. And it's a mental thing that we've gotten really locked into again. So it takes a while to undo the patterning. So so have patience with your exploration and just have fun, you know, try to have fun. And I understand like sometimes that's not fun. I personally, when I started on this journey, I'd get very frustrated with myself. Like, why can't I just really enjoy this? Why can't I feel this? Why isn't this happening? Why am I so attached to this? And I get very frustrated with myself because I want to be further along than I am. I want to have a different experience. I just had to really be patient with myself and allow the tears, allow the frustration, allow the anger, and allow whatever it is, you know? I have the same frustration right now sometimes with self-pleasuring, and I'm just like, you know, and I'll have an orgasm or experience, and I want it to be more of this like powerful connection with source, and it's just like, and it's maybe just more of a physical experience, and it's just like, and I get frustrated with that. Like, I want to connect with the divine in this way, and it's just like, but you know, just enjoy. Again, there's that attachment to outcome. We can even take the sacred sexuality too far in that way, you know? It's attachment to outcome, whatever that outcome is. That's what brings us suffering. And that's not allowing for what is. That's my attachment to that specific experience. And not just being with what is, right? That causes the suffering, the frustration. So explore, allow, play, you know? And here's the Empress, which is the gorgeous, sacred, feminine, fertile, beautiful energy. So, you know, going from the moon here, this kind of tension and like, a disconnect from that feminine energy. over here to the Empress, which is all about it. So this is what's on the other side of our exploration, a deeper connection to the feminine, this gorgeous energy. And that's the feminine within ourselves and then without. You know, men want to connect with the feminine so bad, but they're very disconnected from their own feminine. So it's hard for them to really understand and really appreciate and connect with the feminine in a real nourishing, fulfilling way, because they're so disconnected from their own feminine. So let's take it to that place. How about that for an understanding? If you really want to deeply connect with the feminine and the external, you got to open up to your own feminine energies and understand the feminine energies more, you know? But this is what's waiting for you on the other side of this journey, or as you even start into this journey, a deeper connection with the feminine, which shows up in the external, which is what you're here for, right? That's what we're doing here. That deep longing to connect with each other in a gorgeous, fulfilling, passionate, nourishing way. You know, my deep longing is to connect with the masculine for that fulfillment, that union. But I have to connect with that within myself first. I have to strengthen the masculine in a very healthy way. And I have to strengthen my own feminine in a healthy way. Moving out of that wounded, toxic feminine, the wounded masculine energies. And we have to clear that out from ourselves. That's what this is all about. That's what we're doing here on this channel. You know, really exploring these energies and how they've gotten out of balance. Because we long for that connection. We long for that union with each other. We long for it. It's not just about it, some orgasm. We can do that by ourselves all day long. You know, we can sit at home self-pleasuring and have orgasms. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what we want. We're longing for something much more fulfilling, much deeper, much, much, much more. Wow. That just, like, my heart just, woo. And here we have the Page of Wands in reverse. The Page of Wands is, the Wands is that spiritual fire energy, that transformation energy, right? It's passion, it's creativity, it's the fire, it's the fire that transforms and illuminates. The Page is a fresh energy, it's new beginnings, it's kind of a new way of experiencing it. And if it's in reverse, what this card is saying to me is a new spiritual connection, a new way of connecting to ourselves spiritually through this process. You know, it really opens up. There is a deep transformation and a fire and a creativity and a passion that we are going to connect with as we move through this process. When we open up that sexual energy, when we open up a deeper harmonic balance with the feminine and the masculine, it opens up that passion and that creativity and that spiritual connection within. It's the union. Again, we've got the masculine, the feminine, the Shiva and the Shakti coming together in one. When we bring that together in ourselves, that's the spiritual opening, the spiritual awakening, that Kundalini rising, you know, the energy coming together and really supporting our connection with the divine within. That's what it is. It's the union. As above, so below. The Shiva and Shakti, it's within. It's not out there. That union, when they come together, that's when we feel that spiritual connection. That's when we feel that union, that oneness that we ultimately long for. We have it within, and then we share it without. Then we come from that place of wholeness, love, passion within, and we share that with a partner. We share that without, I mean within and without, and we share that with another. It's we tend to come from this place of a fear-based place, you know, a place of lack. We need our partner to fulfill something for us, you know. Again, we're looking for that orgasm, or that feeling needed or wanted. You know, we need our partner to do that for us, to help us feel whole. The tantric path, sacred sexuality path, is about having that wholeness within, doing that work on ourselves, releasing the toxic, wounded feminine and masculine within ourselves, coming into healthy, whole balance within ourselves. And then we connect from that place. And that is a very different experience of our sexual energy and passion and creativity, when we're coming from just an effulgence of wholeness and love and passion versus like, I need you to do this to make me feel whole. Very different experience. And then everything just busts wide open, right? And here from the page, we move into the Five of Pentacles. And you see how like destitute and in lack they are. You know, they're out in the cold. They're a mess. And to me, this is like the cautionary tale. Here's what happens when we don't do the work. You know, we're just in this unhealthy place. And look at, there's disease and dysfunction in the body. This is the Pentacles. And as I read these in the Sacred Sexuality, the Tarot cards, the Pentacles is our body. All of this manifests in disease and dysfunction in the body when we're carrying these very unhealthy energies and we haven't done the work. It starts showing up as, you know, disease, dysfunction, inflammation. It's not healthy. And it's body, mind, and spirit. You know, it's unhealthy all over the place. So it shows up in our relationships. It shows up in the work. It shows up in all parts of our lives, right? So that's what's coming through there. I love it. So, yeah, let us go to the Oracle cards to see what they have to say. The Sacred Feminine. This is the Mythical Goddess Tarot. Really beautiful deck that I've been connecting with. So the Sacred Feminine, the Goddess energy. Let's see what she has to say here. Thank you, beautiful Goddess. Thank you, Sacred Feminine energies. Any ways to support us in our process here and to support us in connecting with you more fully? What are your words of wisdom to help us on this journey and help us to open to receptivity, to allowing, to flowing, and to letting our masculine take a little breather as we open into the feminine more for harmony, union, and balance? Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your wisdom. Oh, that was like 4 cards. We don't need 4. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, we've got it's a water card, which is the feminine, right? Maiden, passion. Excited to see what she's got to share with us. Look at how lush and full and voluminous she is, voluptuous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love that. I love that. Just so soft and beautiful and just like, very inviting, you know. I just want to, touch. Yum. Okay, seas. There she was. Maiden of the Seas. Passion. It's a Cancer energy. Gorgeous. The powerful and abundant heart flow of the Maiden of Seas is sourced in the water of her feelings, totally energized with emotional passion. Gorgeous. She holds the passion flower above her in tribute to her exuberant vitality. She is ecstatic sexual energy. I love it. And emotional fertility, all within healthy boundaries. That's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous connection of the feminine and the masculine supporting. The masculine holds space, provides those boundaries that the feminine can just flow into, you know, and just like dance and play in this very held space of very much safety, which is really also what the masculine helps provide for the feminine. A safe place, a safe space for her to dance and sing and play and all the passion to flow and move about. The feminine hasn't felt safe for a very long time. So that's the other important piece of getting these energies into balance and really allowing the feminine to feel safe enough to receive. And that shows up in the masculine as well. What I was talking about earlier, not feeling safe to allow the universe to do what it wants to do, to allow that feminine energy to flow. We don't feel safe. The masculine doesn't feel safe to let go either. The feminine doesn't feel safe to let go, and the masculine doesn't feel safe to let go into the flow either. This is very important. This is a very important piece of this. You know, the feminine is not allowed to be in her receptive state because the masculine has been she's been quite abused by the masculine. And So it's not safe. It's not safe for her. So the masculine gets frustrated when the feminine isn't receiving what he has to offer, and she's so shut down that she can't receive because it's too scary, and she's been really kind of abused, that feminine has been abused. So the safety piece is really freaking important. And that's what the masculine can offer the feminine, a real safe space, but that takes a lot of work to get there. We can get into that in another time. This Sea Maiden's full creative flow of passion is yours to experience. Yes, when we do the work and we allow the flow, you get to experience all this passion and this magic and intuitive energies, and allow and receive what the universe has to offer. You are here to let your ecstatic heart energy regenerate your emotions and your world. Your passion is the key to let the dormant feelings rise from your core into vitality, creating the life that you long for and deserve. That is gorgeous. Again, that's what's on offer here when we do this work and come into harmony and balance with our feminine and masculine energies. So your passion is the key to let the dormant feelings, the emotions that have been repressed, shut down, not allowed, denied. Let the dormant feelings rise from your core into vitality, creating the life that you long for and deserve. When we start allowing these energies, when we start connecting with our emotions in a healthy way, when we start allowing all of this to move through, we really change our experience. We really tap into such a deeper experience of creativity, inspiration, relationship, spiritual connection, healthy emotions, magic, miracles. It all flows through when we're in harmony and balance. So that is what we've got this week. That's what I'm leaving you with, and something to reflect upon, and really how can you start opening into this. And when you're ready for some support around this, please feel free to reach out to me. We have a very powerful 12-week intensive program that's starting in June that's all about this, coming into balance and clearing out the unhealthy, toxic, wounded masculine, wounded feminine energies that get in the way of us living in our passion, our creativity, and our purpose, and from our hearts, in deep union, deep, healthy relationships and connections with ourselves and with source, so that is a very, very powerful program, and really helps you to recognize what is not supporting you, recognize where you're out of balance, and how can you come into balance. So there's so much more information on my website, so check that out. Again, starting in June, this next cohort is going to be quite lovely. Some revamped things in the program that are exciting. And I have amazing testimonials for people that have gone through this program and how life-changing it's been for them and transformative, and so supportive of their health and their spiritual connection and healthier relationships, which is, I think, what a lot of us are doing here, right? But really, it's self-empowerment, courage, and confidence to move forward on living the life that they truly want. So that's a huge piece, right? Then we attract to the things outside that support that our power, our truth, our authentic, shining our light bright, who we truly are here to be, beyond all the conditioning of society, beyond all the limitations that we've been handed, What is in your heart? What is your passion? What is your purpose? What are you doing here? How can you really light it up and just own it and step into it? So I offer a number of one-on-one sessions, sacred sexuality sessions, to really start opening up this energy for yourself and exploring with a partner, sacred sexuality. So check those offerings out on my website as well. A little more detailed explanation of what those sessions are about. And also the pilgrimage, authentic tantra, sacred sexuality pilgrimage to India coming up in November, where we're really going to dive into the feminine and the masculine and connect with those energies in India, the god and goddess energies externally and within, and our bodies, the sensuality, really getting into it and doing ritual and breath work and meditation and visiting sacred sites and temples and a lot of eating of amazing food and connecting with other sacred masculines who are on this journey. You know, we need support. We need to be with our brothers and sisters to really support us in this process and have that connection with others who are passionate about opening into a new way of being in this world as well. So that's a very key piece. So, and we're going to be doing sacred sexual ritual over there and just opening up into authentic tantra and what is that, and how is it going to support you on your journey, you know? So a number of offerings, so many amazing things, so many amazing resources on my website to support you on your journey as well, if you're looking for other next steps. So feel free to reach out, get on my email list, visit my website and sign up for my email list so you get all the news on all the happenings and everything and such. And yeah, I invite you to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. The more you engage with it, the more it helps to get the, you know, get into the algorithm and get the information out. I'm just so passionate about supporting us all to be in this beautiful, healthy place with our own sexual energy, and then sharing and connecting with each other in just this passionate, beautiful, like nourishing, fulfilled way from a heart-based whole place, not from a place of fear and lack, in our power, lighting it up, lighting ourselves up, just rocking it out. Like, who are we here to be? What did we come here to do? Let's own it. Let's rock this shit out. So thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to be connecting and sharing with you. So thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you again. Bye all. Happy full moon.